Hey guys, MetalDriver89 here, bringing you a DC review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Batman Sovereign Knight PX exclusive action figure. That was a mouthful.
That's what she said.
Looking at the sides, you see the 1/12 Collective logo, which says Pose, Play, and Display. On the other side, you see the MezcoToys.com logo. Then on the back of the packaging, you see an image of Batman, ton of cool pictures of the figure in action, along with all the accessories that it comes with. Alright, so that was a quick look at the box, which, by the way, it's not really a traditional cardboard box, but instead it's a tin, which is really nice. I do like this packaging, which I do believe this is what the PX exclusive figures usually come with in this tin packaging. So now that we have taken a look at the box, let's go ahead and open up the PX exclusive Batman figure and take a closer look at it. Alright, now we have Batman out of the packaging, and just looking at him standing right there, he looks amazing. But before we get to the Batman figure, let's take a closer look at the accessories that he comes with, and he comes with a ton of them. Again, just to go over the accessories, there are a lot of them, so I'm not going to pull them all out, but I can go ahead and just go over them briefly. So he comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 extra pairs of hands, and 1 extra hand, which is a kryptonite hand. So looking at that, that looks really nice. Kind of gives off that glowing effect. And just to show that off, it can easily swap into the peg on his right hand. And there you go. So great for punching Superman and putting him in his place. He also comes with a grappling gun with grappling hooks and a big batarang, along with 10 smaller batarangs that are gold. So you can see that there. They look really nice, really detailed. I'll show them off towards the end of the video a little more. And you also have a bat drone right there. So that's really cool for different display options and toy photography. And then it also comes with a sonic disruptor, which again looks nice and detailed. And quickly looking at the grappling gun, again, very detailed, very nice. But again, that is to be expected from a figure that is pretty much $100. It's got a hole right there so you can put the grappling hook in there. But I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to keep that there for now. He also comes with 3 interchangeable heads, which I'll go ahead and show that off pretty soon. The other pieces of accessories that he comes with is a display stand, which looks really nice. Perfect for putting him on a shelf. He's got a peg hole here so you can place the hole, both holes, so either one, into the stand to have them displayed. Also comes with a flight stand, so good for posing. In a flight pose, that pegs right into the stand. He also comes with these wires here, which goes into the flight stand. Now this is so that you can pose the cape. Personally, I'm not going to use them. I tried using them or playing around with them once with the Dark Knight Returns Batman that came out many years ago, and I absolutely hated it. And the general consensus that I've gotten is that most people do not like it either, so I think most people would rather prefer a wired cape as opposed to these wires here. So it's there, they include it, but no one really likes it, no one uses it. I'm not going to use it. Alright, now let's take a closer look at the different head sculpts. So first, let's look at the short-eared head sculpt. Looks really nice and detailed, got this lining here. Kind of makes the mask of the cowl look a little armored rather than just a piece of cloth. It does have this weird grin here, which a lot of people have said that they don't like it. Kind of looks like he's making a chipmunk teeth mouth or something. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's not the best mouthpiece. Mezco has given us better grinning or menacing faces from characters, especially Batman. So this one, as far as the mouth goes, it's not that great, at least I don't think, but the rest of the head sculpt looks nice. Also comes with a battle damaged head sculpt, which looks really good. Nice and detailed, especially right there with the damage in the eye. So that looks nice. Looks really, really good. Before I forget, let's go ahead and pop these heads on just to showcase how simple it is. So as you see, that was easy to pop off. This one pops right on. Actually, alright, that one had a little bit of a push, but not too bad. That looks really cool. So showing Batman with some damage there. As you can see, head goes that far down, and can go that far back. So not too bad of a range of motion. Let's get this off. Now let's go ahead and check out the short-eared head sculpt. This one was a little easier to put on, so that looks really cool. This looks really nice, especially with the blue and gray. Definitely reminiscent of the Hush Batman by Jim Lee, just with a different logo. Alright, now let's take a look at the unmasked Bruce Wayne head sculpt, which looks really detailed, really nice. Goes on Batman very easily. Goes on his neck, so that looks really cool. It's always nice to have an unmasked head, and if you can see in the hair, you can see gray within the hair, so it's not jet black looking. It's a little more almost charcoaly. There's gray in there, so you can tell that this is a bit of an older Batman from the first figure, which was the Ascending Knight. So it is a very similar head sculpt to that. Just it's kind of harder to tell, but with the paint detailing, it does make the face look a little bit aged, kind of like if he's in his late 30s, maybe early 40s, with that gray hair there. So that looks really good, especially with the rest of the body. Alright, looking at the rest of the figure, so as you can obviously tell, he's donning his blue and gray outfit, so this is a very classic look, reminiscing of what you see in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Now, this is Mezco's take on it, so he doesn't have the blue trunks. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of customizers out there that put it on. I might do that myself just to give it a more classic look, but even so, the costume itself, the suit, has all these detailing on here, almost to look like it's more high-tech, a little more armored. So, gives me a lot of the Arkham City vibes, so that's really cool, really nice. So seeing here, you've got that all around the abdomen, up the arms, and on the legs, all these cool details. Extends all the way to the back, and it even has this little hook here, this spot where you can put the grappling hook or grappling gun. So actually I'm going to do that now and show that off. If I could just snag that. Okay, so I got it here. So I do believe it goes in. So I do believe it goes in like that. I've not watched any other reviews or pictures of this online, so that looks pretty good. So hopefully you got it right. If not, let me know in the comments. Let me know the correct way to put it. It went in pretty easily that way. Let's try the other way just to see how that looks, if I can get it. And yeah, it fits in that way. So I guess either way works, whatever you prefer, but that's a really nice touch. Looking at the rest of the figure, so looking at the boots, he's got all this detailing here, so again, gives off that armored look, which looks really nice. The gauntlets also have that design. So again, as I mentioned, it gives off a very Arkham City vibe, which was a classic gray suit that had armored texture around the suit. Let me get that thing off. It's gonna bother me. There we go. So overall, the suit, the design looks really nice. The detailing on this cowl looks really great. Again, same detailing as the other head sculpts, just This one has the longer ears, which I prefer, especially with a blue and gray scheme and the yellow oval. Very reminiscent of his 70s and 80s look. Got the design on the neck piece of the cowl. And then looking at the cape, you've got two different colors, or shades of blue, I should say. So it has a bit of a darker navy blue, whereas the back side is a more duller looking blue that matches the rest of the blue on the figure. So that looks really cool. Then when you bring the cape over, you can give him that very menacing look that he does when he has the cape over him, which looks really cool. I love how that looks. I love it when companies give us soft goods capes, especially like this. I do like how Mezco gives us really solid capes. I know most people complain and wish and hope that they get wire capes, which that would be nice as well, but I can live with this. This is nice. It's much better than a plastic cape or some weird flimsy half of a cloth cape, or even some wired capes. Like the SH Figure Arts Ben Affleck Batman. I don't like that wired cape. So, overall, looks fantastic. I think this figure looks amazing. Alright, just quickly I wanted to show off a couple of the accessories in his hand. So as you can see right there, on the left, you've got the grappling gun and then a batarang in his other hand. So as you can see, Batman's in a dynamic pose, which wasn't too difficult to put him in, even though there's cloth on him, which may hinder the articulation a little bit. In my experience, it doesn't hinder that much range of motion. Alright, going over the articulation. Now, I'm not going to know all the joints and the names of the points of articulation with the Mezco figures, just because I can't really see the joints and the points of articulation due to the cloth, but I can imagine what it might be or assume what it is. So here there is a, the neck is on a ball peg, so he goes slightly up that high, and he can go that far down, which is actually pretty good. He can turn his head side to side and tilt it a bit. That's about as much as the neck gives because of this harder neck piece here. The arms have a hinge, so it allows it to go that far up, which isn't too bad. You wouldn't want to go too crazy. And then there's a swivel there, which allows it to go that high up. So not too bad. I wouldn't try to push it past this angle, just because I don't want to risk ripping the cloth. So as you can see there, it's pretty easy to move them that far up, but then if you want to move it a little bit higher up, you're kind of pushing the cloth a bit, so I would be cautious with that. Alright, there is a bicep swivel. He does have double jointed elbows. The range isn't that great, but that's due to the gauntlet, not necessarily the cloth. There is torso articulation, so you can twist about that far to the side and this far here, which isn't too big of a range, again, due to the cloth, but again, you don't want him twisting all the way around. He does have an ab crunch, which allows him to go that far down, which isn't too bad at all. And he can go this far back, which is actually pretty good. You don't need Batman to go any further than that. The hips are on a ball joint, which allows his legs to go that far out, which is actually really wide, so that's really good. Better than some other DC figures that I've seen. His leg can go that high up, which again, really good. I think that's actually really good considering the cloth that he has. So that range is really nice. He has a thigh swivel, a double jointed knee, which has a really good range. Both knees. So that's actually really great. I like that. I don't think there's a cut at the boot. Actually, no, there is. Huh. So this one moves. This one on mine, not really, and I don't want to force it. The ankle does have a hinge, which allows it to go not very far down or not very far high. And there is a slight ankle pivot. So Mezco is known to have not the greatest range of motion in the ankles. But before I forget, the wrists. It has a hinge which allows it to go up and down or to the side depending on how you have the hands positioned, and it can rotate all the way around on this ball joint. So overall, the articulation is actually very good, considering the cloth there. Alright, and here's a quick comparison of the new PX exclusive Batman next to two previous released Mezco Batman figures. So here's the Ascending Knight Batman, which depicts his first appearance / early years, but this is Mezco's take on it. And then here's the regular version of the Sovereign Knight Batman. So this is the black and gray scheme, so you can see his costume is a little darker gray, and it's got the black bat on his chest rather than the yellow oval. And here he is next to the two previously released Joker figures by Mezco. So this is the deluxe version, and here's the Clown Prince version Joker, which again, I have not reviewed this figure. I've had him for a couple months, just never really took him out of the packaging. Let me know in the comments if you do want to see those reviews of this Joker and the original version of the Sovereign Knight Batman figure. Alright, before I go into my final thoughts, I did want to quickly mention a point of articulation that I forgot to look over. He does have butterfly joints, however, the ones on mine are pretty tight, so they were kind of hard to notice. I did notice them after messing around with the articulation, so I wanted to throw that in. But my final thoughts on the figure. I think this figure is amazing. Usually you can't go wrong with a Mezco figure. They're high quality action figures, they're high end. This Batman is really amazing. And I actually prefer this version over the regular release Sovereign Knight Batman, which is kind of odd for me to say because I'm usually not the biggest fan of the blue and gray scheme, his color design. I prefer the black and gray Batman. But this blue and gray really hits the nostalgia for me, especially with the yellow oval. Really reminiscent of the older design of Batman before they started using the big giant black bat. So this is really cool. I think it's a great updated or modernized version of that Batman. I really love this. I think it's, in my opinion, better than the regular release Sovereign Knight Batman. It is slightly more expensive because it's PX exclusive. This one runs about $100. I got mine on Big Bad Toy Store. Actually, mine was delayed for almost a week. It took several days for them to ship it out, which normally doesn't take that long. But Big Bad Toy Store, they were nice enough to work with me. They helped me out. So that's why I buy from them. So I'm going to put a link in the description down below. So if you want to buy this, you can go ahead and go to Big Bad Toy Store and pick this up there. Other than that, this figure is amazing. If you're a Batman fan, pick it up. Don't miss out on this. Mezco figures tend to jump up in price after they sell out. If you're just a Mezco fan, also pick it up. If you're debating on whether to have this one over the Sovereign Knight, I would go with this one. This is really, in my opinion, the better version of the two. So if you like this review, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, why don't you subscribe to see more reviews? I mostly do WWE reviews, and I occasionally do DC. However, if you show more engagement with my DC videos, if you give me a lot of likes, give me a lot of views, let me know in the comments as well. If you want to see more DC reviews, I can go ahead and try to do more. As always, stay tuned till the end to see pictures of this figure in action, and I will see you next time.